Good topspin by Feng Tianwei, straight down the line. Very well respected by the Chinese players, Feng Tianwei. Feng Tianwei on the right of the screen there, won the Korean Open last month. What a flick by Zhu Yuling.
Slightly long on that service. They're trying to keep it tight, to keep their opponents from flicking the ball, but that went just slightly long. In doubles, you always see a bit more touch play, trying to keep it short, make it difficult for your opponent to get in. But if it does go a little bit long, then it'll be pounced on. Got a backspin there on that service.
Good backhand down the line there by Mengyu. If you look at all the World Championships and the Olympic Games, you have to go back to 1993 when China last didn't win a gold medal, with one exception, and that was in 2010 in the World Team Championships in Moscow, and it was Singapore who beat China, and Feng Tianwei, Mengyu were part of that Singaporean team to pull off that remarkable win. Ding Ning, Yu Shi Wen were part of the team. It was a formidable Chinese team, but Singapore beat them, so they have the pedigree. Feng Tianwei, Mengyu, but it's the two players from China who lead 5-2. Chen Meng now with the serve. Signal from Feng Tianwei to Mengyu, the serve she'd like her to do.
It's a good service there, half long. Players from Singapore have to decide whether they flick it or topspin it, but that went, second bounce was right near the white line.
Feng Tianwei will be a little bit disappointed by her high standards. That was a very makeable forehand topspin. And a great flick by Chen Meng there. She's stepped underneath the table to get into position well. Flick there hitting the top of Mengyu's racket, flying over the barrier, and China 8-4 in the lead. Little single there from Zhu Yuling to Chen Meng. I didn't know what return she would like, let alone what serve. So getting highly technical, highly tactical, these contests. Little chats, little signals. Basically, if you're going to push the ball back short, then odds are your partner's going to have to play close to the table. If you're going to go long with that surprise long fast push or flick, then odds are your partner's going to have to play a little bit, a fraction further away from the table. So it just gives them a chance to prepare.
Good backspin there. And Chen imparting a lot of spin on the ball.
5 game points, but the flick there hits the top of the net off the end of the table. 4 game points remain. Oh, that's a great forehand down the line from Chen Meng, and China take the first game, 11 points to 6. China lead 1-0. We'll be back for the second game. players back at the table for the second game. Zhu Yuling with the serve. And a good backhand topspin from Chen Meng on the diagonal. China have so many outstanding lady players. They're constantly looking at the best combinations because, of course, in the team event at the Olympic Games, which is probably considered one of the blue ribbon events in the world of table tennis, doubles is an important factor. And I don't think these two have played together that much, Jill.
No, they haven't, but Zhu Yuling won the women's doubles at the World Championships in 2015, and her partner there was Li Xuan. So a formidable doubles player.
She just missed that forehand topspin down the line. And she certainly put up a great performance in the women's singles final yesterday against Ding Ning. It was anybody's over the first 5 games, really was tight. And then Ding Ning just broke away.
Great topspin to topspin there by Chen.
Chen Meng, possibly the best player out there at this point in time. She's hit a rich vein of form in this semi-final. Good return of serve there. That long fast push deep into the backhand took Zhu Yuling completely by surprise.
Just hesitated slightly there, receiver's serve. Thought it was coming long, so she could get him in the forehand, but not quite long enough.
It's a good backhand topspin down the line by Mengyu.
Both the Chinese players there standing round on their backhand sides to play forehands. A slow spinny one there from Meng. And then put all of power into that forehand on the diagonal and make a winner.
Zhu Yuling with the serve, 4 points apiece. Mengyu not quite lifting the backspin. There we saw the little finger raised as the signal for Zhu Yuling. Not sure what that means. Probably short. And it was short, but it's the 2 players from Singapore who win the point. Scores level at 5 points each. Feng Tianwei, Mengyu are, of course, the Commonwealth Games champions. They won that title in Glasgow in 2014. The Commonwealth Games, a big multi-sport event. 5,000 athletes competing across 18 different sports. Table tennis now one of the core sports, the compulsory sports on that program. Held every 4 years, and it will be held next year, 2018, in April on the Gold Coast. What a fabulous venue for these Commonwealth Games. Be interesting to see if Feng Tianwei, Mengyu are there to defend their title. Six points apiece in the second game. Took it very early, Chen Meng. Feng Tianwei with the serve, 2 points adrift. Side spin on the ball. Mengyu not compensating for that side spin. The spin biting into the bat, pinging off the side of the table. It's a good top spin by Chen Meng over the table. Again,
Mengyu just touching it a bit too long.
A bit long and a bit high.
Yep.
Backhand down the line is the winner for Chen Meng. China win the second game by the same score as the first, 11-6. And the players back to their coaches in their respective corners, and we'll be back very soon for the third game. First point in the third game goes to Feng Tianwei, Mengyu. They are, of course, 2-0 down. Singapore lead. Zhu Yuling with the second serve. I think that just caught the edge of the table. Yes, it did. Point to Singapore.
Another edge ball.
2 fortunate points for Singapore. You tend to find at the end of a whole match, good fortune levels itself out. But certainly the last 2 points have been fortunate for Singapore. Feng Tianwei with her second serve in this sequence of 2. It's interesting here, we've got 4 right-handed players. The experts would say that the left-handed, right-handed combination is the better for doubles. It allows both players to dominate the table with a forehand. But again, there's new theories flying around now that because of the development of the backhand returner serve from the forehand side of the table, with the wristy backhand shot, the banana return it's called in some parts of the world, various names for it, but it's getting people to rethink, maybe 2 right-handers, 2 left-handers. So I'm sure over the next 12 months, the coaches, the technical people, the tactical people will be starting to look at what is the best combination. Is it still the left-hander, right-hander? Certainly a good point to debate. 5-3, Singapore lead, and Singapore have the serves. And certainly lots of conversations, signals going on here. It is Mengyu with her 2 serves. The backhand from Feng Tianwei off the end of the table. A grimace there on the face of the 30-year-old. Mengyu, 27 years of age. There, the single, the fist. No. Couldn't see what the second signal was.
They're certainly signalling more now in doubles, whereas at one time it was, you know, what serve you're going to do, what spin, perhaps what placement, what speed. But now the opponent, it's what the next ball could be after service, where they're going to place it.
Zhu Yuling there, uncharacteristic miss for her. A relatively straightforward forehand topspin, she overhits it. And Singapore now with a very useful 3-point lead. Very bright appearance, Zhu Yuling, with the shoes matching the skirt, bright yellow.
Mind you, Zhu Yuling, she was national champion in 2016. Arguably, you could say that must be one of the hardest tournaments to win, to be national champion of China.
Good shot there by Feng Tianwei. Good angle with that forehand topspin. Used her feet well. Singapore doing well in this third game. 8-5 up. And by going out wide, Mengyu had the option to return it equally wide, and that's exactly what she did. There she goes. She's across. Hits that one wide with side spin. Zhu Yuling, even at full stretch, couldn't quite get the bat on the ball. And so, 5 game points for Singapore. 10-5 in the lead. Always dangerous, Feng Tianwei. Singles and doubles, very talented, good hand. Feels the ball well, can play with power, but the heavy backspin on the Zhu Yuling serve put into the net there by Mengyu.
Oh, great rally there by Mengyu.
And that great shot you spoke about, Jill, wins the third game for Singapore, 11-6. And now China lead by 2 games to 1. We'll be back very shortly for the 4th game. Looking at the match statistics, 78% of points won by Singapore with the serve. That's high, and that was the difference. That's what they turned around in that third game. Much better serving, 11 points to 6, they win. And now the players out at the table ready to start the 4th game. As always, the best of 11 games. First pair to win 4 through to the final. Final will be later on this afternoon.
Took that ball early there. Zhu Yuling, Chen Meng set it up, and she stepped in and played that forehand down the line.
So you just sense now China not having it quite all their own way. These Singaporean ladies have done well. They've got themselves right back into this semi-final. Still 2-1 down, but you do sense the momentum a little bit with them, although, of course, they have to make the tough top spins, and Feng Tianwei, they're just missing the side of the table.
Long serve there, went off the side of the table. So Chen Meng able to get in the top spin.
I think in doubles the tactics are all about tight serves and getting in with the first topspin. The problem is if you serve every single serve tight, you know, use deception, chop and float, make it difficult. But if every serve is short, then the opponent's waiting for it. I think 1 in 5, 1 in 6 serves. Send in a long fast serve, keep the opponents on their toes. The surprise element can win you the point. And then they're slightly hesitant when they're returning the short serve, thinking, oh, it may come long and fast. Good flick by Mengyu, just breaks the runner point. Right in the corner.
Singapore players need to possibly get a bit closer to the Chinese, put them a little bit more under pressure. Once they get a few points ahead, they relax a little bit more, go for the shots.
Mengyu did well there. She adjusted quickly when she realised the service was coming over the white line. And then she rocked back, played a good forehand topspin. 6-3. Zhu Yuling with the serve. I suspect we'll get the short one here. And then Mengyu in. It just caught the top of the net. Let's serve. Backspin, a little bit of side spin.
Mengyu try to push it deep with backspin. Good tactics just to break it up a bit.
China leads 7-4. Mengyu with her second service in this sequence. The backspin again, paying dividends. Chen Meng pushes the ball into the net. A further 6 points have progressed. The players are allowed to towel down. And if you look there, pretty even distribution at the top end of the table there. Spraying the ball around the table. And there we look at definitely a focus there on the right-hand corner, 37% going deep and wide. Good spinny topspin from Zhu Yuling.
You said that statistic there, playing down the backhand, and they won that point wide on the backhand again.
A little bit of frustration for Chen Meng there, disappointed she missed that forehand topspin. 3-1 down will be tough for Singapore, so this is a crucial part of the whole match for the Singaporeans. They're still in with a chance. Feng Tianwei with the serves. The backhand returner serve there, using the wrist. Excessive use of wrist. Side spin. Sometimes a little bit of backspin, topspin, all depends on the point of contact on the ball. But it's now a very popular technique used by all the top players in the world. 9-6, China lead. Second serve for Feng Tianwei. Didn't come off that time for Zhu Yuling. Perhaps he went a little bit hard, maybe spin it a little bit more. A little bit more control, a little bit more topspin, not quite as much pace. May have been the order of the day. But now it's Zhu Yuling with the serves. Chen Meng misses the backhand down the line, and timeout called by China. Just a chance to compose themselves. Interesting there that Zhu Yuling called the timeout. No consultation with Li Sun, the Chinese coach. That'll be a discussion they've had prior to this tournament. Who calls the timeouts? May well be that the coach can call it, the players can call it. I think it was a good timeout. If China can compose themselves, convert this 9-8 lead into a victory, 3-1, and then it'll be very tough for Singapore to come back. So it's a pivotal moment in the match. Would you agree, Jill, with the timeout call?
Yeah, definitely. They lost 2 points there. And you could see the frustration on Zhu Yuling, and I think she thought, well, this is a great time for us to regroup, have our timeout, discuss with the coach, reinforce what our tactics are going to be. And I'm sure they'll have their head in gear to start back again. Chinese are serving. So they've got to make advantage of this service.
I have to say, Feng Tianwei, Mengyu will have the serves at the sharp end of this fourth game. Will it be 10-8? Will it be 9-all? We're just about to find out. Topspin then by Chen Meng. Feng Tianwei went for a fairly hard block. She had to. You can't just simply return the ball. You've got to put some energy into the shot. She does that, but it just clips the top of the net. You can see there, Lee Sun happy with that one. He knew at 9-all it was anybody's game. China now the favourites, 2 game points. And the topspin off the end of the table from Feng Tianwei. What a clever timeout. China win by 11 points to 8. They now lead by 3 games to 1, and we'll be back shortly for the 5th game. So the players now back to the table for the 5th game. China lead by 3 games to 1. Chen Meng, Zhu Yuling, number 3 and 5 in the world. Zhu, of course, runner-up in the women's singles yesterday to Ding Ning. Chen Meng lost in the quarterfinals to her partner here, Zhu Yuling. And a good start by Chen and Zhu. Of course, they're up against a seasoned pair. Feng Tianwei, 30 years of age, 4 in the world. Mengyu, 27 years of age, 23 in the world. Has been as high as number 9. She has been a top 10 player in the world. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, Singapore pulling off that remarkable victory in the final of the World Championship team event in Moscow in 2010. But it's looking China the favourites here. And timeout called by Singapore. Good timeout, 3-1 down, momentum clearly with China. The Singapore coach will be looking to break the momentum. One thing we've seen a lot of, Jill, we're signalling now when you serve the ball, so both players know what the serve's going to be. We're actually signaling on the return, on the returner serve. How am I going to return the serve? What's the advantage of? Let's just look at the service first. What's the advantage of your partner knowing the service that you're going to do?
Well, if you're going to do a serve with no spin on, which we call a float, then it's highly likely that you will get a flick receive, so your partner knows that's what could come back. If you're doing a backspin serve, heavy backspin, it's likely that you'll get a push receive. And if you say to your partner, well, I'm going to put a long one in, you know it's going to come back long and fast.
So basically you can prepare for what's likely to be your first shot
Yes, that's correct. It's a bit like you being in a singles match. You know what service is going to do, and you know what's going to come back. So it's just helping your partner to know what spins on the ball and what could come back.
Good backhand from Feng Tianwei. The Chinese players asking if that touch. For me, that was way down, to be perfectly honest. Let's have a little look on the replay. Yeah, that's down. Not way down, but it's a little bit down. But just shows you how competitive the Chinese players are. They're looking for every point. Nothing wrong with asking the question, so long as you then accept the umpire's decision, which in fairness to the Chinese players they did. There was no arguments, there was no scene of any kind. Let's get on with it. Let's forget the last point, focus on the next point. Feng Tianwei, second serve.
Backhand banana there. It's won quite a few points in this match. As you said, Don, very spinny, wrist action.
Singapore fighting for every point this fifth game, being closely contested, 1 point in it. Chen Meng with her second serve, no spin, pushed off the end of the table by Mengyu. Just spotted herself on the screen, nice smile.
That was a good backhand. Picked that up well from the service. Good angle wide on the forehand.
That ball just trickled over the net from Feng Tianwei. Fortunately for her, it was over the net and not trickling back towards her side of the table. Zhu Yuling now with her second serve, 6-5 China lead. The point of the match so far. Super play by all four players. Top spin against top spin. Both pairs now toweling down. Let's have a look at that point again. What a great point it was. Here we go, top spin. Chen Meng staying up, but then she's round the backhand with that top spin. Here we go again, top spin, top spin. Flat backhand from Zhu Yuling wins the point. Unlucky there. Mengyu, she went for the wide angle. But now China 3 points away from the women's doubles final. Chen Meng there at full stretch, almost got the ball back. Chen Meng with her two serves to come, just waiting for the signal from her partner, Zhu Yuling. Here we go. That's a great block by Chen Meng. Good topspin, but an excellent block. There's the backhand topspin from Feng Tianwei, but she almost punches that ball back. Chen Meng, 2 points now away from the women's doubles final. Zhu Yuling just topspinning long. And now Mengyu with her two serves. Of course, it will be China to serve at the business end of this fifth game. 2 points here for Singapore is the order of the day. But now 3 match points for China. 1 point required, and it's a guaranteed spot in the final. Oh, what a flick. Looked as though she was going to push it. Last minute she changed the angle of the racket, flicks it. Li Sun, the head coach to the Chinese women's team, he's happy, he's on his feet clapping. But a great performance by Feng Tianwei, Mengyu. They've got the satisfaction of a bronze medal. Both losing semi-finalists received the bronze. But there they are, Zhu Yuling, Chen Meng of China. They win by 4 games to 1, and they'll be in action later this afternoon in the final.